Let me tell you, last week was a struggle.
Struggle bus.
I lost my voice.
Whole voice gone.
What
Gone with the wind.
happened, man? It was fine on Monday.
It was fine on Monday, and then Tuesday evening came. My vocals were...
That's
my
the mon-
voice sounded like crap.
that was the moneymaker right there.
Oh, my goodness.
See you on the IR.
Yeah, see you on the IR 4 weeks. Hey,
Whole thing. Whole
my
process.
voice is a lot better now compared to last week, so that's always a plus. But anyways, welcome to the Covered Cal High podcast. I'm your host, Jake Vanderbrook, alongside Tyler Flips and Adrian Soriano. Week 4 now in the books, so we're almost starting to dive into league play. We still have some non-league matchups left, but we had some great games last week, starting with De La Salle. They survived in Stockton, beating St. Mary's 38-35. And we talked about Pitt having that tough test down in SoCal to take on St. John Bosco. This game was a lot closer than the game when Bosco faced Sarah. We did predict that, but Bosco was able to beat Pittsburgh 35-14.
And then Liberty and Amador Valley taking each other on, and we got Liberty taking Amador Valley down 34-28. And then we go to Carlmont over in Belmont, South City visiting Carlmont. It was 26-21 Carlmont. That was ended up being a lot closer game than expected in the second half. We'll cover that more later in the show.
All right, and then we go to Menlo Atherton. Resounding 35-0 win over Live Oak. And then Santa Teresa, defense, man. 17-0 over those Fighting Knights from Hillsdale.
You know, a team that should be either on the bubble or even in our poll, the California Grizzlies. They continue the roll. They went on to beat Antioch 47-18, while El Cerrito just dominating Campo, winning 49-0.
Something else right there, to say the least. And then we go right on over a little San Jose battle. We got Lincoln and Leland, and Lincoln taking down Leland 15-12. Tight one there, no doubt. And then another tough one here, being a Lee alumni here. Lee and Pioneer, and the Mustangs get it done 24-21. Another tight loss for Lee. They've lost by, I know for a fact on this, is that's been 6 points or less through the last 2.
Mustang Country, let's ride.
I'll hop off that bus.
All right, then we go to Oakland, San Ramon Valley. Impressive victory over McClymonds, 51-14. And then up in Santa Rosa, Cardinal Newman, 56-0 against Bishop O'Dowd.
Man.
Yeah, Carl Newman's going to be a good team to watch out for. Like I said before, do not sleep on the North.
They may be in the open division for the NCS. They might. We'll see what happens.
And it's possible. And we're going to talk a little bit about that later on in the show. I do have the max prep rankings after week 4. And there's some teams that surprised me for those 6, 7, 8 spots. But we'll talk a little bit about that later on in the show. But you know who could be in that open division?
Who?
D1 poll? Liberty.
Of course.
Because what a game they had. They were down 22-8. And they managed to come back and win it 34-28.
Something else. It was a crazy comeback win and a pick 6 to seal a game at that. Talk about a cherry on top.
Yeah, Amador Valley should have won that game. They should have won that game. 22-8. How do you blow a lead like that?
I mean, our producer, Nikon, was there.
Nikon was there,
to cover
man.
the game. Yeah,
Lucky Nikon charm.
We'll call out to it now. If you haven't watched those highlights yet, go back to them. Go check them out because that was a great game. Nikon did a great job covering it. It was something else. So Liberty getting it done, just like you said. I think that someone very possibly could be in that open division.
Yeah, and don't sleep on those Liberty Lions. I mean, they can make some noise come league play.
Yeah.
They really could. I mean, Liberty is a solid team. They've always been.
Yep.
We knew that all along. And we know they have a dynamic rushing attack. And Jackson Bell, 214 rushing yards on the night, 2 touchdowns. So when you got a guy that can just run the football down your throat, I mean, and if you're not stopping it, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Darn right there. Couldn't agree with you more.
So where does Amador Valley go from here? You take a tough loss like that on your home field, and now you got to get set for league play.
Well, I mean, they're in the East Bay Valley division, right? I think for them, the biggest game on their schedule is Foothill. I don't care who they play in non-league or league. It's Foothill. The Battle of Pleasanton, That's the game everyone's got their eyes on, right? I think honestly they're preparing for that game. That game will determine who gets bragging rights in Pleasanton until next season.
All right. That should be interesting. Out to the peninsula now. South City Carlmont.
Yeah, no, that was a great game. Like we said, final score 26-21 Carlmont. But it was a tight one. But it didn't start that way. Carlmont came out roaring in the first half, where it really didn't look like it was going to be much of a contest until moments before halftime. South City's defense was able to step up, and we go into the half 14-7. So it was a one-score game going into half. And then South City comes out and takes the ball game into their own hands in the second half. Looks like they might come away with it. And then Carmont's able to march down the field, put another one on the board. Not to mention Sean Chopoff, tight end. I believe he is 6'4" is what was listed on Max Prep's roster. 6'4" tight end. He had 3 receptions for over 100 receiving with 2 touchdowns on the night. Outstanding stat line.
So he chopped off the defense.
Yeah, he did something to him. We'll say that much. That was a little too corny for my taste. But with that being said, the game came down to the final moments where South City was able to get the ball back, game-winning drive, send a hope and a prayer down the field, come within striking distance, but no timeouts. Clock's running. They go to clock it. They snap it before the referee blew the play live. So it was a 10-second runoff, and that's the ball game. That is how it ended.
Yeah,
and South City had all the momentum. It was a heartbreaker for South City to see that because, I mean, I want to bring up one thing with them. I know I'm going on a bit with these guys, but South City has a small roster. They were hurt. I saw probably what looked like 6 or more big guys sitting on the bench in jerseys, probably starting O-lineman, D-lineman, whoever it was. I want to say they had almost their entire roster playing both ways. I mean,
that's crazy.
They had a small starting lineup that day, small starting roster. And so the fact that they were able to keep with Carlmont, and because Carlmont was deep, on the contrary. So it's a fun game, hard fought by both teams, but shout out Carlmont getting it done.
Well, we know what they did last year.
Won the CCS D5 title game.
Won a CCS title.
Yeah.
No one saw that coming.
No
one.
Absolutely not.
That came out of nowhere, and we were like, all right, and they played in NorCal. It didn't go their way, but that was one of the biggest storylines
last season
of all high school football last year. South City being able to rally. They didn't have a program for quite some time.
And you know what? You got to give a lot of credit to the coaching. My goodness, they're a well-coached team right there. To have
That's what
a lot of guys not playing and to keep up with Carlmont and make this game really close, it all comes down to coaching, man.
That's what I was going to say. I feel like, focus on this, of course, Carlmont won, and again, props to them, but South City deserves the credit that they get here, the love that they're getting right now, because, they're beyond well-coached, is what I was going to say. They're gritty. They are every ounce of gritty, and they fight to every play.
Yeah, and, it's not just coaching. When you have a short roster like that, conditioning is a huge factor.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a huge factor. And when you got a small roster where you can still put up a great fight against Carlmont, what we saw last Friday, I think they're well conditioned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you are in that situation, it prepares you for league.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
South City's, like we're saying here, the verdict is they're a good team. So look out for them. The fact, just because they lost to Carlmont here in the fashion that they did, does not put anything against them. They're a good team, and we're going to see them again later this season.
Absolutely not. And making our way to SoCal, down the Bellflower. Pittsburgh, losing the Bosco 35-14. First loss of the season for the Pittsburgh Pirates. This was expected, but we knew this game was going to be a lot closer.
Absolutely. And you know what? It was like 21-14 at halftime.
Right.
Right. Pittsburgh looked good.
They can compete.
I think this is going to be the year, man. Now, assuming if they face De La Salle in the NCS championship game.
Which could happen.
Right? It could happen. It's
A lot of
very,
variables.
very possible. But I think this is the year, man. This could be the year. Pittsburgh looked really, really good. And then, second half comes and, Bosco said, all right, that's enough for you guys. Really, really tightened down defensively, which is, typical SoCal adjustments, right? But, hey, hats off to Pitt, man. That was not easy.
No,
That was not easy.
no, that's a tough test. Marley Alcantara, 212 passing yards, 2 touchdown passes, one of them going to Kenny Ward with his 81 receiving yards, and then Jamar Searcy with 86 rushing yards on the night. I mean, that's just a tough test.
And those are that's still notable numbers. To do that against Bosco, I mean, that's still something to be very proud of. So it's just, I think I'm overall just thinking about what's different down there for SoCal football. What's in the water down there? SoCal football is just so darn good.
What are they eating?
What are they eating?
Well, honestly, it's Bosco and Mater Dei, that whole, I think, Trinity League. Man. And not to mention, Pittsburgh had some mistakes, and they still kept it close.
Yes, they did. Yes,
they
they
did.
did.
Yeah.
So De La Salle St. Mary's, this game was really close.
Yeah.
And I did mention last week that, it's going to be interesting to see some of these teams that go on the road for the first time this season. De La Salle was in that situation last week. And they went up against St. Mary's of Stockton. That's a great football program over there. This game was really close.
All of 3 points.
3 points, yeah. Toafave and Derek Blanche led the way in rushing. So we talked about the 4 monster running back depth chart that they have over there. I mean, that didn't even include Toafave. Toafave had 2 rushing touchdowns on the night.
Is that right?
Yep.
Wow.
So, and then Derek Blanche with over 100 rushing yards. I believe he had 115 on the ground. So De La Salle faced a little bit of adversity at the end, but they were able to hang tough and manage to get away with a victory in Stockton. 38-35 the final to improve to 4-0
Perfect.
on
Yep.
the
And
season.
I think at one point, St. Mary's was leading at one point, I believe. Like I was kind of checking Twitter during my game at Cappuccino. I'm like, whoa, okay, well, now we really got to watch this game now, right? And obviously, De La Salle pulled it out in the end, but hey, is it first road game jitters? I don't know, right? We weren't there.
And that's what
unfortunately.
I was thinking, too. And that's why I mentioned it last week. I mean, let's see how San Ramon Valley is going to play at the Mac House. They were able to pass that test, beating McClymonds, and then De La Salle was in that same situation.
Yep.
So both of those programs were able to get the job done on the road. So now we move over to our football previews. Christopher Branham, a very exciting Thursday night game, and I believe this is our Crumble Cookies game of the week.
Yes, sir, it is. And I will be covering that game. Man, I'm expecting offensive fireworks for this game.
Should be interesting. There, Branham starting quarterback still playing with that club on his hand, I believe, that left hand, because he broke his hand.
Broke his hand.
I believe it was
week
at
one.
Solid. No, week 1.
Week 1. He broke it during the first half against Hollister.
Hollister, that's who it was against. I couldn't think of
But
his
hey,
name.
he's making it work, right?
Making it work.
It's
I
not
saw
a stone hand.
picture. It's wild. He has obviously the ball in his right hand, and then his whole left hand is covered to the cast except these 2 fingers. There's a big old just club over the football. It's just like something you've never seen from the quarterback position. But
No.
shout out him getting it done. So I'll be interested to see what that looks like live on the field. You covering that game.
I mean,
with
I
that
feel
club.
like when you have a club, if you're a lineman and you have that, I feel like that's to your advantage
Correct.
when
Yeah.
you're lining up. But for a quarterback to deal
That's
with
going to be
that,
hard, man. I mean,
how does he deal with that?
He must be purely in shotgun. There's no way he could be under center taking
Oh my
snaps.
God.
we'll find out. Oh, I'll find out on Thursday. But, Christopher, Action Jackson Robinson still there. I can't wait for this game. I
Yep.
cannot wait for this game.
It'll be a fun one.
He's looking good. Nearly 900 passing yards on the season with 9 touchdown passes. They also got a guy named Evan Vernon. I mean, when I saw that Evan Vernon kid play last year, I believe it was against Overfelt. He can fly all over the field. They're utilizing him as a receiver now, but when I saw him playing as a DB, he can fly over the field. So look for Evan Vernon to make some plays for this Christopher Cougar squad. And then they also got Ray Waller, who leads the team with 5 total touchdowns. Christopher's a good team, and I think you're going to nail this one, Age. This is going to be a high-scoring affair.
I can't wait.
Yeah, it should be good. Christopher, they have a lot of talent, and then Branham, they got that receiver transfer from
Bellarmine.
Bellarmine. Zane St. Laurent, I believe.
That's right.
So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if both teams crack 30 points.
Is this at Christopher?
No, this game's at Branham.
Oh, it's in Branham.
So,
all right. In the Bruins den. It'll be
There you
interesting to see. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, so now we get into the WCAL, and we have 3 teams that could be in the top 3. And
Yeah.
I see Reardon. I see
Yeah.
St. Francis. I see Sarah. And another team that is going to compete in this WCAL is going to be the winner of this game Saturday night, Midi taking on Valley Christian.
And I'm at that game as well.
Yes, you are.
So, Valley Christian, their bread and butter is run the ball. Run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. Midi, on the other hand, hey, they can pass. So, can Valley Christian kind of limit Midi's passing attack? I think that's going to be the key. I know that defensively Midi's good. Can they stop Valley Christian's run game?
Yep.
We don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yes.
Right? But winning this week in a very tough West Catholic League, this is going to get them one step closer to perhaps winning a league title.
We're getting
to win.
We're getting to that point of the season where, no matter the matchup, that we're saying, oh, still early, right? But no, we're into week
We're in the
5.
middle now.
Yeah, this is where
Here we
things
go.
are. It's you better be boots on the ground running. If you don't got it figured out yet, you might be a little late to the party,
Yeah.
And
Right.
so you got to make sure you got your ducks in a line and make sure you're ready to rock and roll. And so with a matchup like this one, that very much so applies. I think that's every ounce of the case. So again, you're getting all the good games. Who makes this shoot schedule? Who's the one picking these games?
I don't know, man. I don't know. But hey, you know what? We're not covering this game, and we can talk about this real quick. Sarah St. Ignatius, another big game in the West Catholic League. We're not covering the game. But hey,
I don't even know what to expect from that.
If SI beats Sarah on Friday night, can you imagine just how big that is going to be in league? That's just gonna blow
Is that
the league
game
wide
at
open.
SI?
I think this game is at SI.
Okay.
Like Jake said, I have no idea what to expect out of that. I feel like I feel like there's so many the things I have expected in the past of talking about those teams individually, and it doesn't turn out the way I expected. No matter what it regards, it's just I feel like that's such a toss up between both teams. I don't know what.
You know what?
Predict.
I hope all these teams in the WCAL are taking advantage of their bye weeks because, down the stretch, this is going to be one heck of a ride.
Yes, it is.
Oh yeah, this is
One
going
heck
to be
of a ride. This could be the league this year where you never know what to expect. It's like in basketball with the East Bay League. You never know what you're going to expect. And I think for football, in this case, for this season, it's the WCAL. So like you said, you better get your boots tied tight and you better hit the ground running.
fasten your seatbelts.
Fasten your seatbelt.
Get ready for the ride.
Yep. Yeah, that Midi Valley Christian game, I'm going to say, I think it's going to be low scoring.
Okay.
Low scoring. And this is going to be a fast game, I think.
That's great.
I'm going to say,
That's good.
that's great for you, yeah.
Get in and out of there.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Midi 21-17 final.
Okay, Midi. All right. Tyler,
can
what do you
see it.
think?
The thing is I'm not coming in with much knowledge on either one of these teams, not covering them, other than what I do know about the offenses that each team likes to run. I think Jake's hitting the nail on the head there. I think, just to be different, tell you what, I'll take 21-24 Midi, though.
Wow. Okay. Man, this is really, really tough to predict. But I'm going to go Midi. Just because of their passing game. Their passing game is obviously better than Valley Christian, But I feel like Valley's run game is better than Midi's. But in terms of defensively, I think Midi is just a little bit better. I'm going to go 23-20 Midi.
So we are all going to predict that this is going to be a close game.
It will be a close game.
It will be tight.
It's going to be a very tightly contested game, and that game is played at
Valley Christian.
the Hilltop, Valley Christian High School.
Yep.
I can't wait for the tri-tip, by the way.
Put an earlier question now.
As a man who likes food.
Do you prefer the tri-tip better? Is it better at Valley Christian or is it better at Pitt?
Oh, that's a
Valley Christian.
I'm gonna say Valley Christian.
Valley Christian.
Valley Christian.
Oh, love to Pitt. Pitt does have good
Oh,
cooks
yeah.
over there. Good fixins. But I mean,
Yep. Valley Christian tri-tip, man, it just hits different.
I agree.
You know who's got some good horchata?
Who?
Hayward High School.
Really?
I had some Friday. It was really good.
Who would have thought?
Really?
Yeah.
Who would have thought? Not,
Ooh,
not
you know
me.
what? I'll go to one of Hayward's games just for the drink. Just
Sure.
for the drink.
Sure.
I was go in and go out.
You gotta cover the game, Age. Come on now. Moving on now to our volleyball poll. We said it last week. We had chaos, and we got even more chaos this
2.0.
week.
Well. So, here's the list, everybody, right here. Got the list right here. Branson is our number 1 team, right? So they only had 1 league game last week, which was Terra Linda, and they finished 12th overall in the Durango Fall Classic in Las Vegas. So this is a very, very prestigious tournament.
How many teams were in that?
A lot of teams, from all over the nation.
Yes.
But I think Branson, St. Francis, Mitty, they were part of that tournament. Several SoCal teams were part of that tournament.
SI was in that as well.
SI was in that tournament as well. I think Mater Dei finished first, if I'm not mistaken. I was looking at it this morning. St. Francis number 2.
Yeah.
No surprise. They beat Mitty. I did not say beaten this time. They defeated Mitty and Presentation in league. Finished 18th in the Durango Classic. Redwood at number 3. They defeated Campo Lindo girls volleyball and San Rafael. That San Rafael game is a league game. James Logan is at
baby.
number 4, and they very much deserve being number 4.
They were at 4, and then they were 5, and now back to 4.
No, so I think they started at 5 entering last week.
Okay.
And then they went up to 4.
Or maybe did they start at 6?
Maybe
I'm thinking they started at 6.
I think they were outside the top 5 starting. I think they were outside the top 5 starting this season, but defeated Mission San Jose, which we covered on the show. You guys can see that on YouTube, by the way. Mission San Jose at James Logan. They defeated Kennedy of Fremont, so those 2 games are league. And then they went on to win the Bishop O'Dowd Invitational this past weekend. 5-0. And here's some key facts, just fun facts. 13-game winning streak since that loss in their tournament in Vegas earlier this season. And they have not lost a single set.
Wow.
Since the Foothill game, which they won in 5. I
was like
looked at it
4
this morning.
weeks ago.
Yeah.
They have not lost a set.
That's
And that's
crazy.
the reason why they deserve to be number 4 on the list.
Okay.
Whole lot of winning. Love that.
Marin Catholic number 5.
Yep.
They've defeated Novato. That was their only league game. And they also won the Chris Chandler Invitational at Menlo. So defeated Aragon, Menlo Atherton, Valley Christian, and Harbor from Santa Cruz. Number 6 is Mitty. Lost to St. Francis.
Yep.
But here we go. Our number 1 team last week in the podcast, they defeated St. Ignatius.
Yep.
In, I think, 3 sets. And finished 24th in the Durango. Carondelet is back on the list at number 7. They defeated San Ramon Valley in 5 sets.
5 sets.
Robert was at that game.
You can catch
You
the
can
highlights,
catch highlights
on YouTube.
on YouTube too. And they also beat Doherty Valley. SI defeated Presentation and lost to Mitty. Finished 28th in the Durango. Foothill clocks in at number 9.
Yep.
3 games for them. Dublin, Castro Valley, Livermore all wins. And Palo Alto rounds out our poll. They defeated Mountain View and Homestead.
Yeah, and you can also see the highlights of the Mitty St. Francis game.
Yep.
That's some great volleyball.
That was
over
great
there.
volleyball.
So
Absolutely.
even though
Absolutely
St.
quality.
Francis went on to win in 4 sets, we do have to keep in mind one thing though. They were without 2 of their top players.
Yep, Mitty. So Mitty, according to this is what Jake got this past week. What was it?
McKenna Crossan
and was it
Isabella Romero.
So they weren't playing. So maybe that was the reason why they lost to Branson and Marin Catholic and St. Francis. They were undermanned. So I don't know if they're back, but you expect them to be back very soon though.
And even without them in the lineup, Mitty's still a very great. They're a good
well-coached
volleyball
team.
club.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, no, it's something else to see it. I mean, Personally, I love the chaos. Bring on the chaos. I love seeing this pole fly around. It makes your job harder, but
But I love it.
You should see this, man. Friday night, it's like, oh my gosh, I gotta change the pole over again. Oh no!
Hey, but it's fun, man. It's part of the job. Honestly, this is my favorite thing about working here is just the polls, man. It's just so crazy putting it together. Especially football Friday nights, right? Volleyball before we go out to our shoots. It's just part of the insanity, but man, it is a blast.
I think it's better too. If the polls are just stuck where it's the same teams,
Yeah.
are overly dominant, whatever, it's just no fun. We like the chaos.
Hey, I said it in week 1. If your school is on the poll, you can thank Adrian. And if your school is not on the poll, you can blame Adrian. So now we're moving over to our football poll. Not many changes, but we do have a new team that's in the poll.
Yep. So I'm pretty sure this is the same top 9 from last week. De La Salle, who beat St. Mary's. It's too early, guys. I'm sorry. I need my coffee. Pittsburgh, even though they lost to Bosco, they're still number 2. Still number 2. No shame losing to Bosco. And they kept it close. Hats off to them. And they're bye this week. They're playing Los Gatos next week. So, gives them time to rest up, really heal those injuries. Sarah, who is coming off a bye, number 3. They're playing at St. Ignatius. San Ramon Valley defeated McClymonds impressively, 51-14. They're at number 4. They're at Hayward, so they're on the road again. On the road again. St. Francis also coming off a bye. They're at number 5. They're playing Bellarmine. That should be a real barn burner. Sorry, Bellarmine. No disrespect, but man, St. Francis is a good team.
I think that's a stray bullet.
Good
That might have been a stray bullet. That was a stray
Come
bullet.
on, man.
Just keep it rolling though. We'll just roll on by.
Okay. Number 6, Los Gatos. Defeated Mountain View last Thursday.
Holy smokes.
62 to 8. Oh, 6. 62 to 6.
62
to 6.
That is bizarre.
And they're also biased, so they're playing Pitt, like we mentioned a couple minutes ago. So it gives them time to really rest up. Reardon also coming off a bye from last week. They're playing Sacred Heart Cathedral Saturday afternoon, I think. They're at number 7. El Cerrito number 8 defeated Camp Lindo 49-0. They're playing De La Salle at home. So that should be very interesting. Should be very, very interesting how De La
think
Salle.
El Cerrito is going to put up a fight.
They will definitely put up a fight.
I think so too. I mean, and especially you come into confidence that game to do what they did against Campolindo, to be dominant on both sides of the ball. They're 49-0. Not only capitalize on offense, finding the end zone that many times successfully, and on the other side of the ball on defense too, to keep a shutout. I mean, that'll boost the confidence, the ego, and that's what you need playing a team like De La Salle. So.
Yeah, it should be a real test for El Cerrito. Los Lomas number 9. They defeated Alhambra 54-7. They're gonna host College Park this week, and our brand new team. If you watched the show last night, you probably saw this team in our poll. California at number 10. They're taking over for McClymonds, who is 1-3.
Yep.
Again, no disrespect whatsoever for McClymonds. They're scheduling tough, and unfortunately, they're getting the short end of scheduling tough teams, which is 1-3, right? Unfortunately, but California 4-0. They defeated Antioch 47-18.
Yep.
Very impressive, and I think they also beat Monterey Trail the week before. Again, another impressive victory.
Yep.
And they are on the road again against Granada on Friday night. And that, my friends, is the top 10 poll for football.
Wow.
Your thoughts?
No, I like it. I think I think Cal deserves to be in that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They're playing some great football thus far. You have a great victory over in Antioch, and you crack 40 points on offense. You're looking good. Cal's ready for league play. They are.
So.
They're last year they put up a great fight against San Ramon Valley.
Yeah.
Cal's physical.
I remember that.
They can do it. It's just it's just one of those things that they're in a tough division.
Yeah.
It's a very tough division. And I think one thing I want to look at, too, is like, what do we got to see to have Hayward beat San Ramon Valley? Nothing against those Wolves, but that'd be an upset and a half.
Oh, absolutely.
Upset and a half. And
I mean, Hayward, who is coming off a very resounding loss to American Canyon.
Yeah, that American Canyon
True.
team's no joke.
no joke.
They can play. And shout out Hayward for scheduling some very tough quality teams. San Ramon Valley is going to be a tough test for them. But, I mean, hey, you know, these are the games that you have to prepare for league.
Yes, it will prepare. Yep.
That's the thing. What I'm getting at here, the whole point is like like we said, tighten up those boots, because I mean this is really something else that it's gonna either strengthen your confidence or hurt it. You know, and with these games scheduling tough, right? Wondering if can we get it done in the league, or it's like hey, we're coming in high and mighty, or getting knocked off the horse.
So really quick before we go,
I'm looking forward to this one.
Yep.
After week 4. The Max Preps NCS rankings.
Okay.
1 through 8. Or 1 through 8.
Okay.
Dale Cell number 1.
Okay.
Pitt number 2. SRV number 3.
Okay.
Carl Newman at 4. Liberty at 5.
Liberty at number 5?
Liberty at 5.
Okay.
El Cerrito number 6.
Hold on. They have Liberty over El Cerrito?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
So El Cerrito 6. Cal at 7.
Wow, there we are.
Ooh.
Number 8.
Okay.
Marin Catholic.
Got Marin
Wow.
Catholic.
Okay. Well,
On the bubble, San Marin 4-0.
Oh, my
Clocking in
goodness.
at number 9.
Wow.
And that brand new league with Cardinal Newman, San Marin, and Marin Catholic. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. But, you know, that's interesting. Liberty over
I'm shocked.
El Cerrito?
No knocks to Liberty, but I'm shocked they have them. They must
I don't
know
know
something
about
we
that.
don't, or
Then, I thought
Liberty's knocking on the door in
they're
our
a
top
good
10, I would
team.
argue.
Liberty's a good team. You know, hey, Liberty fans, please don't kill me. Please don't kill me, okay? I love you guys. I
think I would argue they're just outside the bubble for us on our top 10. They got to be knocking on the door.
I think they're in the top
definitely
15.
on the
They're in the top
bubble.
15.
Yeah.
But over El Cerrito, though, I mean, man, that's... And then Marin Catholic at number 8. Again, tough
They're
teams,
2-2.
right?
They're putting it together now.
Man. All right. Well, it is still early, right? It's only after week 4, so.
Yeah. I mean, some of these teams haven't even dove in the league play yet.
Yeah.
We're not there yet.
And that's when it gets
Yeah.
good.
That's when
I'm like itching for league
Guys,
play.
here we go. Hey, let the league play begin. Unless you're in that C League with the Peninsula and like Santa Clara Valley combined league, because they already started like three weeks ago. But let's
Everybody
get the league games begin.
Yeah, no, it should be exciting. And I think it's safe to say you've been covered. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.